told what's his name. If it don't work out, I go back to hustling. Couple 100,000 up in my mother's name. Peace, what peace? Talking about don't shoot, tell that to police. Scared and underprepared, I can see. Promise I'ma get them comments before I decease. I never wanted to ever be over. I'm not in Philly, I thought it'd be colder. I might need a chauffeur. Check out my chicky, check out my. Now who are you? I don't know what you do. I don't know you're short a few. Oh no, hold up, pull my out the jaw, come on. Now who are you? I don't know what you do. I don't know you're short a few. Oh no. Hey, Pete, let it ride out.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Denver Broncos. A couple of 2-1 teams set to square off, and we're underway here in NFL Week 4. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On 1st down, Wentz. And right away, he lost the football. But I believe it was covered by an Eagle. It was, and Philadelphia is going to hold on to the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield.
And the pressure gets to him again.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
And he'll get across the 20, but only to about the 22-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback.
Detroit!
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that's caught inside the 30. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there, for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a change-up in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the change-up, and on that play, it worked for big yardage.
Gone! Detroit! Gone! Check.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Now he's flushed out right. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a 1st down. Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15.
Here we go now. Green 39.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That's caught left side by Jake Butt. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught 1 of the 3.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
And Gold is able to put it through. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Sanders has it over the middle. And down inside the 15 he goes. Denver has a first down on the 15-yard play.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got by oh, he just stuck out there, and they just got a nice first down.
And a loose football. And the Eagles have recovered. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. They'll begin the drive with a jive. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. And what they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they're just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Here's Ajayi. A spin. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. On the stop that time, it was Josie Jewell.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Throw left side complete. That's Gordon. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
Come on now. Come on.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And now running right through it. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. The Broncos say they have it. They do. Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 1st and 10 following the fumble recovery. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Sutton reeling it in on the left side. And he's got this down to the 35. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Looking to throw. Got an open man. It's Fumagalli. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Complete out right to Jake Butt. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A good pickup there, a 22.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route, it's extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Lucky 56.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos will extend their lead. And the lead will grow by 1 more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. Call it a gain of 5. And it's a second down. From the gun, it's Wentz. He's going to look deep down the field. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now Wentz again. And the Broncos get there and take him down.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Yeah, Sanders now to return. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Broncos take over. First down and 10. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
3-19! 3-19!
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there at 22.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Here we go now.
Back to throw here. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he slides to avoid the hit. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. Now a play fake here on first down. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Wentz now on first down. He's going to let this one go deep. He's got a man complete. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. A big play there for Philly. 45 yards. So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Zach Ertz, his first touchdown on the year. And the Eagles get a score closer. And it's 17-7. Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball. And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. To him as he's taken down. Nigel Bradham in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Young quarterback, gotta learn. Need to get rid of the football. Because when you don't get rid of the ball, they accumulate more sacks. But you're exactly right. Internal clock has to go off. Either get rid of it or start to take off and go. Going up top. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball. Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction. Being chased out left, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers. Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it. Now Wentz. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's second down. They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10. Wentz will try again on 2nd down.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. The Eagles on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Working from the gun. Wentz. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But they will not be able to capitalize as time has run out here on the first half of play. So we're at halftime here in Denver with the Broncos leading this one. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
They'll set up to throw. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Derek Barnett in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's able to get up here to the 26. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. They'll set up a throw. Open man, and that's his tight end, Jake Butt. And out across midfield down to the 45. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. This quarterback now 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10.
Leopard!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Back to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver.
And this is caught. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Troy Fumagalli, his first touchdown on the year. And the Broncos will extend their lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They fake the give. Now Wentz fighting through pressure. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
I'd love to know what he's saying in the huddle now to his guys up front, because it's been a steady stream of pressure on him this entire game. That time, able to avoid the sack, but he's got to talk to his offensive line and say, guys, just a couple seconds extra, please.
This is Ajayi. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Wentz on 3rd down. And he fires one, but incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And Denver getting set to take the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nigel Bradham in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They'll look to throw here. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter, because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. It'll be a gain of 17, but even with that, they'll be well short here for 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. Once again here on 2nd and 10. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 23 yards on the play.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by her. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles make some inroads here on that deficit.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
This one up to about the 38. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game, and with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now this time he'll look to throw. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Fletcher Cox in there to record another sack. Their 6th of the afternoon. The Broncos on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
Now back to throw. And he's going to go down again. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game, because no one can stand up to this week after week.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Drops it off to Ajayi. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Welcome back now to Denver. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the fourth quarter. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. On play action, it's Wentz. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
81.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Give him 30 yards there. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And an alley to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it.
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Throwing now is Wentz. They set up the screen to Ajayi, and he gets it down to the 32. 5 yards on the screen, but that'll take us to 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
So the Broncos coming out now. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's got the hook up here on the comebacker, complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Another run with Sanders. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They're going to look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And a few little style points on the juke, but not much room to maneuver after that. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable.
And got his man complete. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And at this stage, down in the 2nd half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now a play fake. Wentz. Oh, no, he lost the football. But I believe it was covered by an Eagle. It was, and Philadelphia is going to hold on to the football. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. The Eagles on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and a mile. From the gun, it's Wentz. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of a first as that leads to 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And Elliott puts this one through. And, Charles, when you start talking about NFL kickers that have hit from 62 or further, it's a pretty short list, isn't it?
That it is, but how about the trust by a head coach to even let your kicker try from that range? That's really showing a lot of faith that he can get the job done.
Yeah, faith and guts. Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. That one looks like he'll throw here. Flushed out right. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. Denver has the first down, the play going for 15 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. The win for the Broncos seemingly assured. They go down to a knee. The win for the Broncos seemingly assured. They go down to a knee. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Broncos, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Arizona Cardinals. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.